So we move on then to the A grade for this question, for question 1, the retrieval question. So what I'm going for is I'm going for a band 4, and I'm looking to offer evidence that the text is fully understood. So I'm going to be picking out things from all over the article. I'm going to be showing a detailed engagement with the text. So I'm going to infer a couple of things and obviously develop them and hopefully make some cross-reference links. I'm going to make perceptive connections, yes, the links, and comments about concerns and issues raised in the text. So perceptive basically means I can see past the first thing. So if someone is complaining about something, I've got to look into the nature of their complaint, perhaps the level at which they are feeling it and why it's linked to other things. Otherwise, I might just say the people are complaining, and that would be all that would get me. And excuse me, that would be all that would get me. Sorry, a lower band than this one. So yes, and then I'd be able to offer appropriate quotations or references to support the understanding. So I'm going to pick up things that obviously clearly underline and support what I am putting across. And it's always good to remember these parts here where you've got the basic idea. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm being detailed, I'm being perceptive. So just always have that in mind. Just always have that in mind when you're writing. What are you doing? Am I being perceptive? Am I being detailed? So what do you learn from Ben Leach's article about the issues and concerns regarding the building of wind farms? Well, the article highlights the oddity that supposedly protected areas have had planning permission approved or sought for 14 wind farms, meaning they'll no longer be completely protected sites and will be damaged for future generations. So the first level of evidence is picked up, it's been approved or sought, quoting the text, and I've also started to show a detailed engagement and made a perceptive connection because I'm saying it's also going to be damaged for future generations. If you put a wind farm up, you're not just putting it up for 10 minutes and taking it down again. You're putting it up for years and years and years. So the perception I've kind of added across there is that, the student's response added across there is that it's for future generations. So that's the first thing that kind of just ticks the box. And it's always good to start with something that you're very comfortable with if you are kind of listing your points, because it just kind of gives like a confidence, sorry, that the examiner is going to pick up straight away. If the examiner sees that, then they'll be looking at it going, okay, this is going to be, they're instantly thinking, right, it's going to be higher. Because remember, when they mark down. Okay, so they don't mark up and go, have they, yep, have they, yep, have they, yep. They just kind of look across here and go, yep, maybe that one, no, not there. So is it from that one? Yep, okay, so it's definitely across there. So they're not going to do it straight after they read the first paragraph. They do read the whole thing, and then they're going to go work down. So just make it easy for them. Make them, if you can, just kind of get them to stop around here and go, yep, 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 yep. The affected areas range from all over the UK, and campaigners demanding clearer rules as to whether wind farms can be built so they can contest the issue. Again, inferring what they want to do with it and deducing they can contest the issue. There is also a call from environmentalists to change the planning system, which has led to a led to a rush to build wind farms by developers. So again, those two areas were in one paragraph, and what we've done here is just taken them apart and made them to two very clear separate points. Next, to the picturesque Bodmin Moor, a 415-foot set of turbines has been approved, even though the move is staunchly opposed by groups such as the RSPB and others. They feel it will damage and endanger the area, as it will have a huge impact on it. So again, I'm using the relevant quotation and talking about which groups reference it. So again, there's a lot of detail in there. The plight of the birds at Bodmin Moor is also addressed. Excuse me. The plight of Bodmin Moor is also addressed. Missed the enter button. Skills. The plight of the birds at Bodmin Moor is also addressed, as estimated that 16,000 will be killed by the turbines if they're placed there. Now you see that's very similar to what the C grade student had put, but then look where the detailing and the extra part comes, which is particularly saddening, as it is a protected species of the golden plover that will be affected. So again, making making connections with the ideas there, and again a detailed engagement. The article goes on. Why am I slurring my words? The article goes on to explain that the chairman of Stop Turbines in North Cornwall says the wind farms would violate the tranquil and beautiful landscape, commenting on the upheaval residents and tourists would face, and also reduce it to insignificance, meaning that it would no longer be such a splendid area to visit. And again, it's doing all of those things. If I think actually if I just wrote that, then that would definitely get me in the 7 or 8 band here, because I've hit all the descriptors. It's more than clear evidence, it's more than engagement. And when you're doing your own practice papers and you want to look over them, just you can pull up the excuse me, the mark scheme from AQA's website, or you can you just kind of pause this video and have a look at it here, and just remember what you've done. That's, I think, more than enough to get that. It just I tried to just write as much as possible so you could see the variation. Now, there's one thing that is missing here that the C grade students well didn't pick out, and that's, well, I could actually miss out one of these and just add this last paragraph, and it would be just as relevant. With regard to the alternate point of view, we learned that a member of the British Wind Energy Association has called for each wind farm's viability to be dealt with on a case-by-case basis because there are wider issues to consider, namely global warming and thus the need for cleaner energy. So that sums up, that shows my full engagement with the text now, because that last paragraph shows that there's a change in the focus. So the first load of paragraphs were all about how bad it is, and then at the end we had, if you have looked at the article, then at the end we had an opposing point of view, and I've got to be able to pick that out to show that I've fully understood. So that should hit me in again for the top band of this, top band of that. He also mentions that to not progress with wind farms in our search for a new energy would be foolishly shooting ourselves in the foot, as the consideration of local residents cannot outweigh sorry about this, the need for energy for a far greater number of people. And that, yeah, again, is another point. So you could actually take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 there. If you got 4, then I'm sure you would have got into the band 4 of those points, and probably would have got them all, but 5 would have just sealed it. The reason I've just done more is, again, just to show you, remember, these are exemplar materials. They're showing you hopefully what's the best of, or the most wide-ranging of points, so you understand that there are lots of things to pick out in any given piece. So just to reaffirm that again, please remember, this is ultimately the retrieval question. It's just picking out things and then inferring and deducing what they mean. Hope that was useful.